As the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, considers his options on where to find money to fight the outbreak of the coronavirus, the Natural Resource Governance Institute and other civil society organizations have called on Parliament not to approve his proposal to amend the Petroleum Revenue Management Act to allow government to draw down from the Ghana Heritage Fund. According to them, the proposal, though legal, is questionable and has the potential to trigger government's appetite for borrowing against the sinking fund to the disadvantage of the constitutionally mandated contingency fund established for the purposes of helping government mitigate the impact of unanticipated fiscal imbalances. There's more in this report.
After Ghana recorded over 100 cases of the coronavirus, the Finance Minister went to Parliament to propose that the House allow him to invoke Section 23 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815 as amended, to lower the cap on the Ghana Stabilization Fund from the current $300 million to $100 million. He also proposed to amend the PRMA to allow for withdrawal from the estimated $591.1 million in the Ghana Heritage Fund to undertake urgent expenditures in relation to the coronavirus pandemic. This, the NRGI and other CSOs said, would have serious implications on petroleum revenue management in particular and fiscal governance in general during and post the pandemic. In a statement, the NRGI said, failure to consistently provide needed earmarked funds is the reason why we have been hit so hard by this crisis. If successive governments had adhered religiously to the requirements of the law, we should not have been having difficulty mitigating the economic impact of the present crisis. They stated that in the absence of a clear plan to the people of Ghana on how this proposal would roll out and when the proposed cap will be restored to its original threshold, there's no guarantee that the excess amounts beyond the proposed lower capping threshold of $100 million of the stabilization fund will be sent into the sinking fund for debt servicing purposes rather than into the contingency fund to finance government's proposed coronavirus alleviation program. This state of affairs, the CSOs are of the view, shows clearly the government's narrow understanding of the savings in the Ghana Stabilization Fund. Meanwhile, they also stated that as the government seeks rapid financial facilities from the World Bank, they expect that the processes for contracting and utilization of these funds will be transparent and must prioritize the poor, vulnerable businesses in the informal sector, primary health care providers, and especially target women and persons with disabilities. More importantly, NRGI and other CSOs asked Parliament to ensure that all legislative amendments requested by the ministry have a transitional and temporal period and provision after which the original laws amended come back into force.